Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here. And in today's video, we're going to be breaking down the Week 8 Monday Night Football Showdown slate on Draftkings. We got the Chiefs and the Giants playing on Monday night. We got another Showdown slate with a ton of money up top. Draftkings running a millionaire maker for tonight's game. 2.25 million total prizes, $1 million to first. Even with NBA season in full swing, DK, they continue to put up huge contests for these primetime games. So, as a content creator, I'm going to keep making videos for the Showdown slates. I'm still playing Showdown, even though we do have NBA going on. Obviously, I'll have an NBA video up for today as well. Really just trying to put up as much content as I can. Putting up videos for the Monday night Showdown slates, the Thursday night Showdown slates, making videos for the main slate. Still trying to make NBA videos Monday through Friday. Sometimes I might get videos up on the weekend too. But yeah, we got a lot of content coming out on the channel right now. Hit that subscribe button, guys, if you are new here. Be sure to click that like button as well. As always, I do appreciate all the likes. And check out the sponsor of this video, PrizePicks. If you have not signed up for PrizePicks yet, you would like to check them out. They're more of a player prop-based DFS site. So you're basically just going to pick the over or the under on the projections they have listed on their board. But they have a ton of stuff. They have passing yards, rushing yards, receiving yards. They also have fantasy point projections as well, where you can take the over or the under on a player's fantasy point projection. They have all kind of projections up for Monday night's game. I'm recording this video on Sunday night, so they have some stuff posted for Sunday night's game as well. But yeah, the PrizePicks has a lot to offer, guys. You can win up to 10 extra money on PrizePicks. You have to make at least 2 picks, but you can make up to 5 picks and win up to 10 extra money. So check them out if you've not yet, and if you do sign up for PrizePicks, make sure you use promo code NOAH. They will match your first deposit up to $100 when you sign up with my promo code. So whatever you deposit, whether it's $20, $30, $50, $100, they'll double your first deposit when you use promo code NOAH. So make sure if you do check them out, sign up with my code, and you can make some picks for tonight's game and see what all that they do have to offer. But let's go ahead and start off at the top of the player pool, guys. We're going to work our way down. We're going to talk about all the playable options for tonight's game, and we'll start off with Patrick Mahomes coming in as the most expensive option, as you would expect, $12K. If you want to play him in the flex, if you want to play Mahomes as captain, it's going to cost you a lot, $18K. But clearly, Mahomes is a top option on this Showdown slate. Mahomes and the Chiefs in general have not had a great year so far. They've definitely underperformed from what we all expected. But Mahomes is still an elite fantasy quarterback. I know he's coming off a bad game last week, but I'm not going to let that sway me off of Mahomes here. He's still a top option for me. He's by far the top projected player on the slate. I don't know how much I'm going to be playing him at captain. I think I'm more likely to play, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, those high upside receivers at captain. But clearly Mahomes is someone you're going to want to be playing in just about as many lineups as you can. I would be very surprised at the end of the night if Patrick Mahomes is not in the winning lineup. So yeah, Mahomes is definitely a top play. Obviously, that not really going out on a limb there. And then Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill are also both top plays for me. It's just a matter of if you can fit these guys in with Mahomes. It's going to be really tough to play Mahomes, Hill, and Kelce all in the same lineup unless you're going unless you're playing some super cheap punt options, or if you're going cheap at captain, which I guess you could do. You're probably going to have to take a stand. Like if you're only playing one lineup, it's going to be really hard to play all three of these guys. I think between Hill and Kelce, I side with Tyreek Hill. Normally that's always going to be the case. I think Tyreek Hill just gives you a little bit more upside. He gives you a little bit more big play ability. He's a lot more likely to get like 150, 200 receiving yards, whereas Travis Kelce is a lot more likely to get 8 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown, which is obviously a great game. But Tyreek Hill's a guy that can just break a slate, and like we saw against the Eagles in Week 4, I mean, he can literally put up 50 DraftKings points. Like no one would be surprised if Tyreek Hill went for 40 or 50 DK points tonight. He's got that kind of upside. He's one of the best receivers in the league. He's basically unguardable. Tyreek Hill's my favorite pay-up option, but obviously Travis Kelce is a top play too. I mean, he's just been getting massive usage this year. We know him and Tyreek Hill are just both going to get all the targets in this offense, most likely. You're probably going to see double-digit targets for both guys. I think Travis Kelce's a great play too, but I do side with Tyreek Hill if I have to choose one of those two guys. Then you have Daniel Jones at 10,200. Look, I don't have a problem with Daniel Jones here. Normally, I like to play both quarterbacks. Quarterbacks always give you a really high floor. Quarterbacks are very likely to be in the winning lineup by the end of the night. It's really unlikely. It'll happen every now and then, but it's really unlikely that neither quarterback is in the winning lineup, and especially in a game like this with a really high total, 52 total, pretty likely that both quarterbacks are going to put up a decent amount of fantasy points here. Now, obviously, Patrick Mahomes is a way better play. If I can play Patrick Mahomes, or if I can only play one of the two quarterbacks, I greatly prefer Patrick Mahomes, but I don't have a problem with Daniel Jones. It's definitely a good spot. This Chiefs defense has not been great this year. It's a high total game. It's a game where you expect the Giants to probably be forced to throw a lot. They're probably going to be playing from behind. Definitely like Daniel Jones, but I would prefer guys like I would prefer the Chiefs guys. So basically Mahomes, Hill, Kelsey, I'm going to prefer them over Daniel Jones. But I still think Daniel Jones, is definitely in play. Normally on all the showdown slates, the quarterbacks are going to be in play for me basically every single time. But then you have Darrell Williams at 9K. Darrell Williams, I'm not that high on at his price point. I probably would rather get to the quarterbacks. I'd rather get to Hill and Kelsey. You even got some of these Giants pass catchers who are cheaper that I like as well. But without Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Darrell Williams has kind of been their number one running back lately. He's still splitting some carries with Jerick McKinnon. He's still giving up some carries to basically Jerick McKinnon. That's really it. That's the only running back that they've been given opportunity to. But last week, Darrell Williams played on 64% of the snaps. The week before that, 72%. I know Jerick McKinnon was a little bit more involved last week because they were playing from behind, and McKinnon is someone that they do utilize a little bit in the passing game. Darrell Williams at 9K I think is in play, but I would prefer some of the other guys priced above him. I would also think I'd prefer some of these cheaper guys too, like Devontae Booker at 8,200. Honestly, if I have to pick one of the two running backs in this game, I might side with Devontae Booker, and I know that might not be that might not be like the best take, or people might not agree with me there, but Devontae Booker's been a kind of a workhorse running back ever since Saquon went down. He's played 88, 72, and 82% of the snaps the last 3 weeks without Saquon. He's got 19, 16, and 16 touches. He's going to be the goal line back. They'll use him in the passing game as well. Even if the Giants get down and they're forced to throw a lot, like Devontae Booker's not going to come off the field. They will still utilize him in the passing game. I have some interest in Devontae Booker. Now, I would say both running backs are not going to be like priorities for me in this game. I'm definitely going to be focusing a lot more on the passing game. But between the two running backs, they're both in play. I would just give the edge to Devontae Booker, I think. I think he'll come in with lower ownership. I don't think he's going to project as better as Darrell Williams. So I do like Devontae Booker a decent amount. He's going to get the opportunity. It's just a matter of if the Giants can move the ball down the field, if they can get themselves into, goal line situations where then, Devontae Booker gets a chance to maybe score a touchdown or two. But he's clearly getting the opportunity right now. He's playing a ton of snaps. The touches are there. It's just, can he be efficient? And against this Chiefs defense, they haven't really shown the capability of stopping anybody. So I think the opportunity and the matchup is pretty good for Devontae Booker. But then you got a guy like Sterling Shepard, who, assuming he plays, is someone I do have a lot of interest in. Now, Sterling Shepard's been banged up this year. He got injured week 3 against Atlanta, came back against the Rams, and I'm pretty sure he got injured. He might have got injured that game. I can't remember, honestly, but he's been banged up like all season. But when he's been healthy, he's been a pretty good fantasy receiver. He's getting the opportunity. 9 targets week 1, 10 targets week 2. I think this game against Atlanta, that might have been the game he got hurt, actually. But then week 6 against the Rams, he got 14 targets. Like, they are going to use Sterling Shepard a lot, especially with Kenny Golladay out. Kadarius Toney might be, banged up too. He's coming into this game questionable. I'm recording this video Sunday night, so we don't really have any updates yet on Sterling Shepard or Kadarius Toney. It seems like Shepard's going to play. Toney, though, on the other hand, is a little bit of a question mark right now. Both these guys are in play, though, because I think their opportunity is going to be there for them. I do expect Daniel Jones to be forced to throw a good amount. He's going to have to throw to these guys. Shepard, Toney are probably going to be his top 2 receivers. Darius Slayton is like really the only healthy receiver they have right now. I think if Shepard plays, though, I would probably prefer Shepard over Slayton. But Slayton's going to get some opportunity as well. He's been, basically like an every down receiver these last few weeks just because of how banged up, this team has been in terms of their receiving core. Last week, Darius Slayton, where is he at? He played... last week he only played 61% of the snaps, but he was still targeted 9 times. He still got the opportunity. That was also a game where the Giants won big, and they really didn't have to throw a ton. You still saw 9 targets for Slayton. Now, if Shepard plays, if Toney plays, I'm not as high on Slayton. I would probably prefer those guys over him, but this is just news we're going to have to keep an eye on. For now, I would probably rank the Giants receivers how they're priced, with Shepard being number 1, Toney number 2, and then Slayton number 3. But all 3 guys are in play because I do expect Daniel Jones to most likely throw the ball, 35, possibly 40 times here if they're going to be playing from behind. But then when we can look to some value on the slate, we got a guy like Evan Ingram coming in at 5,400. Evan Ingram, man, he's been frustrating this year. I've rostered Evan Ingram a good amount this season, just kind of as like a value tight end, looking for value at the position on the main slate. And he just never seems to come through, but he does get the opportunity, and that's what we really want to look at. He's going to play a large majority of the snaps, 74%, 73%, 61% of the snaps has Evan Ingram played these last 3 weeks. 5 targets, 8 targets last week against Carolina. I definitely like Evan Ingram as a value play, especially if maybe one of Shepard or Toney doesn't play. I think that's definitely going to be, that's going to allow for more opportunity for a guy like Evan Ingram. He's someone I do like for value if you're looking to go a little bit cheaper or if you need some value. Dante Pettis at 5K, for me, it's going to be dependent on if Shepard and Tony are able to play. If both Shepard and Tony play, that'll basically make Dante Pettis the wide receiver 4. If that's the case, I'm not going to pay 5K for a wide receiver 4. But if we do get a scenario where one of Tony or Shepard are out, then I think we could look to Dante Pettis, as he would probably step in as like the wide receiver 3, would get some opportunity. But if Shepard and Tony both play, I'm basically going to be off Dante Pettis at his price point. Mecole Hardman at 4,800, another guy that's just been kind of frustrating to play this year. I've had some exposure to Mecole Hardman this season, like especially in tournaments. I stack him up a lot with Mahomes. A lot of my tournament lineups, my Chiefs stacks will have Mecole Hardman in them. He's a boom-bust guy. Some weeks Mecole Hardman will put up a big game. Some weeks he's going to disappoint, probably only get you 3-4 catches for 30 yards, but he does offer big play upside. Obviously, he's playing with one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's playing in one of the best offenses in the league. He's going to play on a good amount of the snaps. I mean, last week Mecole Hardman played on, see where he's at. He played on 68% of the snaps, 60% the week before that. He's probably going to see at least like 4 to 5 targets. I think as a cheaper receiver option, Mecole Hardman's not someone I have a ton of confidence in, but if you are looking for value with some upside, I think Mecole Hardman does offer that. He will definitely be in consideration for me. He will definitely be in my player pool. The kickers, I think, are totally fine on this slate. If you want to play one of the 2 kickers for value, kickers normally give you a pretty safe floor. Kickers rarely offer like much of a ceiling. A good game from a kicker is like 10 points. So, I would probably just play Hardman because I think Hardman can at least give you touchdown potential. He can give you like 15, 20-point upside, whereas kickers are unlikely to do that. But if you're just looking for the floor, if you're looking for a guy that can give you 7, 8 points, I mean, the kickers are always safe to do that. I think both kickers are fine here. The Chiefs and the Giants defenses, I don't think I'm going to be playing. Overall, the defenses on this slate, I'm probably going to be avoiding. Don't really want to play the Giants defense against Mahomes. Could the Chiefs defense do something, force some turnovers against Daniel Jones? It wouldn't surprise me. But I tend to just kind of fade the defenses on showdown slates. Most of the time it's going to work out where you don't have to have the defenses to win. So I'm fine just avoiding the defenses. I doubt I'll be going there. And then we get to some of these punt receiver values, guys like Byron Pringle, John Ross, Demarcus Robinson. I mean, none of these guys you have any confidence in at all. The role for Byron Pringle, I mean, it's decent. Like last week, Byron Pringle played on 47% of the snaps. The week before that, he played on 39%. They're going to mix and match Mecole Hardman, Byron Pringle, Demarcus Robinson. These guys are just kind of going to mix and match in for snaps behind Tyreek Hill. Look, Byron Pringle probably gets a few targets. He's only 2,200, I think, if you want to play him in the flex. If you need a cheap option, I think Byron Pringle's in play. Normally, I would never be playing Byron Pringle on a full main slate, but on a showdown slate, these are the kind of guys we can consider and the kind of guys that you can look to for value. Kyle Rudolph, I probably wouldn't go to. He's just kind of like a touchdown or bust play. Just doesn't get enough targets. Not really much of a deep ball guy. Whereas Byron Pringle, like even if Byron Pringle and Kyle Rudolph get the same amount of targets, I think Byron Pringle at least has an opportunity to get like a deep target or like a downfield target. Whereas Rudolph is just kind of like a touchdown or bust. You're basically, if you play Rudolph, you're hoping he scores a touchdown. Whereas Pringle could catch like a 50, 60-yard bomb, and easily pay off value that way. So if I'm going for a cheap receiver, Byron Pringle is probably my favorite. This cheap. John Ross, especially if Shepard and Tony play, I'm going to be off of John Ross. At that point, he's basically like the wide receiver 5, and he just probably wouldn't see enough opportunity to be worth rostering. But in a scenario where maybe Shepard or Tony are out, or by some chance they are both out, then we could look to John Ross as a really good value. And then the last guy I'll mention just as a really cheap play, Demarcus Robinson, $800. Another guy you don't really have a ton of confidence in, but he's going to play a decent amount of snaps. I mean, the last few weeks he's been playing like over 70% of the snaps, like 3 games in a row. Yeah, he's played at least 70% of the snaps in 4 of their last 5 games. Demarcus Robinson has. He's going to be on the field a good amount. How many routes is he going to run? I don't really know. Is he going to see enough targets to be worth rostering at this price point? I think so. I think Demarcus Robinson does see at least like 3 or 4 targets, and at $800. Especially on a slate like this where you want to try and pay up for Mahomes, Kelsey, Hill. I mean, the only way you're going to be able to fit all those guys in one lineup would be to play some of these cheap options. So Demarcus Robinson as just a super cheap punt play, I definitely have interest in. I think if you want to go really heavy on the top tier guys, if you want to play Demarcus Robinson in that type of lineup to get in all the guys at the top, I'm totally fine with that. Demarcus Robinson, Byron Pringle, if I'm really looking for cheap value, they're probably my 2 favorite plays, and then that's probably it. I don't really see anything else I'm going to be considering on this slate for value. So that kind of does it for the just kind of quick breakdown of the player pool for this game. Now, real quickly, we will hit on roster construction, just kind of talk through how I'm looking to build out my lineups. For me on this slate, if I'm paying up at captain, which I tend to try and do, normally the guys at the top just give you the most upside, and they're usually the guys you want to be playing at captain. I would probably be going to like Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce. You can't go wrong with either one. We talked about it earlier. I think I do just side with Tyreek Hill over Kelce. I think Hill just gives you more upside in general. He gives you more big playability as well. And if I'm playing Tyreek Hill, and I'm assuming Tyreek Hill's the winning captain, he has a big game, that obviously means that Patrick Mahomes is throwing the ball to Tyreek Hill. He's probably going to do well as well. Normally, anytime you are playing a receiver at captain, at least in my opinion, you want to have the quarterback with them. So yeah, if we play Hill at captain with Mahomes, you can already see we're down to 5,300 left per player. So man, we're really gonna have to try and find some value. Like if we want to fit in anyone else at the top, we're gonna have to play some of these cheap guys, which it sucks. But if these guys can give us like 6-7 points, which is possible, this could be like the winning build, is just like a full stars and scrubs type of build. Because if Mahomes does really well, if Tyreek Hill does really well, if Kelce does really well, and you have to have those guys to win, it's just basically going to come down to which cheap player gives you 5, 6, 7 points. That's going to be what decides it. So guys like Byron Pringle, Demarcus Robinson, I think are in play for cheap options. If we want to go with like a full just like Chiefs stack, we could play Pringle, Robinson, and then we got 9,200 left per player. So then we could maybe go like Daniel Jones, get both quarterbacks in there, and that leaves us enough to play like a Devontae Booker if we wanted to go that route, or we could play like a Sterling Shepard if we wanted to go that route. But that's kind of a build I like for just kind of, for this game. A lot of ways you can go, a lot of captains you could play. For me, though, I'm really going to be trying to focus on the Chiefs side. Like I think Hill, Kelce, Mahomes, if you want to go there, are like the best captain plays. But to get a little bit different, I definitely like someone like Sterling Shepard. I think Sterling Shepard's going to be lower owned at captain, and we've seen when Sterling Shepard is healthy, he's going to get a ton of opportunity. He's going to get probably double-digit targets. He's definitely someone you could use as a lower owned captain. I don't know if there's any cheap guys I'd be playing at captain. McCole Hardman offers big play upside, but do I want to play him at captain? Probably not. Same with like Pringle. The rest of these guys I'm not playing at captain. Really going to try and focus on my core like Hill, Kelce, Shepard. Those guys are where I'm really focusing in captain. Definitely want to be playing the quarterbacks here. If I can play both quarterbacks, I want to try and do that as well. That's usually my strategy on these showdown slates. Every slate's different, but in this one with a high total where we're expecting a lot of points scored, I'm going to try and play both quarterbacks if I can, pair Mahomes and Daniel Jones together. But that's just kind of my quick overview of tonight's showdown slate, guys. I hope this video helped. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, click that like button, click that subscribe button as well if you are new here, and check out the sponsor of the video, PrizePicks. If you have not signed up for PrizePicks yet and you would like to, be sure to use promo code Noah. When you sign up for PrizePicks, they will match your first deposit up to $100. But best of luck tonight, guys. Thanks so much for watching the video. I hope you did enjoy, and we will see you in the next one. Good luck, guys. Peace.